welcome back to the Gustavo Rubernanasso channel. I'm sorry for my hair today, it wasn't a really good cut, but living and learning. Anyway, today's interview is with Said Lukube Tande. He is in Tanzania currently, and he's an ESL teacher for a couple of years now. He's working in a refugee camp in the northwest Tanzania. As you can see in the images, it is the name of Nyarugusu refugee camp. And the latest news that we have from the camp is that the Nyarugusu refugee camp was opened in November 1996 to host persons of concern fleeing conflicts in the DRC. Prior to April 2015, the camp hosted 65,000 Congolese and 2,400 Burundians. 84,961 Burundians arrived between April and October of 2015, were being hosted in Nyarugusu refugee camp before relocation of close to 40,000 Burundian refugees to Nduta and Medenteli refugee camps between October 2015 and February 2016, respectively. The camp is currently performing a resettlement process that is mainly targeting Congolese who arrived in Tanzania between 1994 and 2005. Here we have when the camp opened, November 16, 1996. We have a camp overview. Here is in the region of Kigoma. And what is interesting is that the administration divisions are 12 zones and 142 villages. The authority that runs in the camp is the Ministry of Home Affairs from the government of Tanzania. The current services that they provide in the camp are hospitals, health centers, health posts, primary schools, and secondary schools for the Congolese population. They have also primary schools and secondary schools for the Burundian population, youth centers for Congolese population, and one for the Burundian population. Two women centers, one multi-purpose vocational training center, one distribution center, and so on. The camp community organization is structured around the administrative layers, which are zones, villages, and clusters. Each organizational level has its representatives, with currently 631 clusters leaders, 142 village leaders, and 12 zone leaders. So it's a lot of bureaucracy, as you can imagine, but there are a lot of different people there. As you can see on the screen, there are more stats on here. We have the population professional backgrounds. Half of them had no occupation. Another 18% were farmers, 0.7 teachers, 0.3 tailors, and others. When it comes to population ethnicities, we have 42% Bembe, 42% Hutu, and other minor ones. As you can see, we'll present now the demographics of the camp. The camp has 86% is refugees. We have asylum seekers of 14% and a total households of 39,000. You can see that age and gender are also interesting. You have women and children are 78% of the population, 3% are elderly, 0 to 17 years of age is 55% of the people in there, and 42% of the people there are between 18 and 59 years of age. Their country of origin is major two countries of origin. They have the DR Congo and Burundi. Okay. Age and gender, 49% males are and 51% females there. I tried to establish a connection with Saidi for a couple of hours. It didn't really work, so we had to conduct our interview through WhatsApp and audios. The audios not always reached me, or I didn't reach him. The quality of the connection there in the camp is really bad, but he does give some insights to what he's doing, how he sees his job in the camp. I hope you guys enjoy. It is rough to see what they're going there through, but I'm sure that Said is doing a terrific job. I hope you enjoy. Take care. Welcome to the Gustavo Rubernanasso channel on YouTube. It's great to have you here. I would like to make my first question and take as long as you wanted to answer this question because I think it's the most important one. Said, why did you become an ESL teacher?
Okay, thank you for your question. But before everything, I want to tell you that before I become an English teacher or an ESL teacher, I am a teacher before. And before I learned English, I had been a teacher somewhere there, as I told you. I learned pedagogy. I am a teacher there at a normal school, but I left it before just because there is nothing in it. So I tried to learn English and I became an English teacher. Yeah, just to help people. My target and my goal is only to help people around me. And as we are living in a tough situation here, where there are not many English instructors here, I saw better to learn English so as I may help my surroundings. That only can just be my reason, and also to help the world. You know, the English is the only language that connects people around. So that's only my purpose for I learned that language. Thank you.
And I share that purpose with you, Said. Said, how did you get started then?
Yes, man. Just to reply your questions, that says, how did you get started? Yes, I became and I started teaching to when I finished my tuition somewhere here around the camp. It was in 2014 that I finished the learning English. And after I have finished the learning, my teacher, my trainer, the one who taught me how to speak and write this little English I'm speaking, he took me and helped me out how to teach. And I started helping him at his center where he used it to teach. And that was my first time, and that was I get started.
Said, what do you think about the ESL teaching situation in the camp and in Tanzania as a whole?
Actually, the situation is not good at all. Just because you know we are in the camp and we are under control of someone else, and we do what is allowed to do. We never go out of the camp without permission. Maybe you can just go to search materials and other things important. So the situation here is very tough. Is very tough that you can teach somebody, but the place where to improve is English language skills, because you know the only language we are talking here on the camp is only Kiswahili, Kibembe, Kifulero, Kirundi. But if you try to speak English here around, people will take you amazing. Just English is not our own language. Now, for my side, I can take it difficult because I don't have the place where I can improve day by day, and we don't have materials, uh, maybe computer and learning via technology system. So I can say the situation is very tough here in Tanzania. However, it is very tough. We try to help people speaking and writing. Thank you.
Do you have a favorite English teaching method, or do you have a method at all that you use?
The only method I am using or that I have here is that I used it to use when I am teaching. Apart from English, I know teaching, especially when I am teaching small people, small guys. I use to my method that I use while teaching is the method of uh, teaching, speaking, and asking. I speak and I ask to show if they are ready, if they are following me or not. The method that I am using is only I teach and I ask the questions. In the meantime, I ask the questions. Yeah. The same time I ask the question, I teach and I ask the question. Only the method that I use.
What are the essential qualities do you think that an English teacher should have?
Yes, these essential qualities for a teacher should have. Firstly, a teacher must have a patience in him. If I say patience, here you understand. Above all, patience is required to be successful as a necessary teacher. Besides, you must be adaptive. You must have adaptability. Must be adaptive to adapt to the situation. Wherever you go, you are a teacher. Okay, it means an English teacher will frequently find himself in a new and familiar places. Maybe from Tanzania to USA, you go there, you are a teacher. They give you the lesson, and you start teaching. And also, a teacher must be studies, eager to study, studying hard and carefully. And a teacher can also be curious. You must have a curiosity, eager to know or to learn. Yes. Again, a teacher must be organized. Must have organization, uh, and a teacher must be strict. You must have a strictness and funny. Yes, you must be severe, exact, and complete. I think those are qualities for a teacher.
Said, do you believe that using only English in the classroom helps students learn English better?
Yes, it depends on the level you are teaching, because you can't only teach learners English, you explain them in English, as English is not their own language. So I have to teach them in their LO1 to make them understand. Yes, this question will depend on the level you are teaching. Maybe you are teaching in intermediate, because those people there are a bit good at speaking. You can only use English to explain. But when you are teaching in a first level or beginners, there we have to use their language to make them understand.
Said, which language then do you think instructions, such as grammar instructions, should be given? Even for beginners, you would teach them in their native language, even grammar. For advanced students, you would teach the advanced students grammar in English or in their native language.
Both native language and English language.
And do you believe that repetition and positive reinforcement help students acquire English? Maybe even negative reinforcements?
I think only positive reinforcement can be required.
Said, in your experience, do you think students' mistakes can be predicted?
Yes, in my experience, student mistake can be predicted. Yes, because it is said that that man who is incapable of making mistakes is unable at anything. Yeah.
Do you think teachers should encourage students to be very active in the classroom, or should they just sit back and observe the teacher?
Yes, the teacher should encourage students to be active and participate in the class because they need also to share their ideas, replying, be active. Yes, whatever you do, they need to be active. That's very important in the classroom.
Do you think that the teacher should give the definitions of the words to the students, or just should help the students figure out the definition of the word?
Yes, as a English as a strange language, the student should have difficulty to give themselves definition of words. Maybe for those who have some little knowledge about English, should give for themselves the definition. But for the beginners who don't know nothing about English, that's very difficult for them to do. It depends on the level you are teaching. Yes.
Should the teacher focus on communication, or do you think the focus should be on writing, reading? What do you think the focus should be?
Firstly, communication is more important, and after communication is reading and the writing, because reading it's a reading that connects people around the world. We we can't write. Okay, it's okay. We can become pen friends, but more important is to speak. Yes. However, you are full of material. You know how to write, to to read, but if you are unable to speak, it's nothing. The important is first to know how to speak. Communication is more important than writing and reading.
Do you think we should teach English within a context? For instance, with a book context or with text? How do you think that we should proceed when it comes to context?
The question is a bit complex, but for my side, um, the language should be taught in context.
Do you think that the verb is the central part of language and therefore we should give the verb more attention when we teach?
This also will depend on the class you are teaching in. Maybe you are teaching in a first level. Huh? Here you cannot put the verb uh, at the center of the language. Maybe you are teaching in an intermediate upper level. There you must emphasize on the verb because the verb is more important.
Do you think it's important or do you think it's better for the students if they learn in an immersive environment?
The English can be learned in whatever situation.
And almost there, why is it English important in your opinion, Said?
The English is more important because we come to connect with the worldwide via English. As I am talking to you today, it's because I have a little English and I come to know who you are, where you are living, just because I know little English that connects me and you, or you and I. Okay, it's more important to learn English. Yes.
Said, now it's up to you. Do you have anything you would like to say? Something I didn't ask you, or something about you and the situation you're in that you like to be sharing in my channel?
Yes, maybe we didn't talk about material according to the level. It's more important to teach for beginners the level material, necessary materials we should teach in the different levels. We didn't discuss about it, and I am very delighted today to connect with you and to reply to all your questions. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Later on, Said and I talked a little bit more about materials, and he visited my website, as you can also do it, to check some of the materials and the methods that I believe work best for beginners, intermediate, and advanced students. I hope you liked the interview. I know it was a little bit confusing to follow the whole interview itself because we don't have images. It's a little bit tiresome, but I think in the overall aspect, it was very interesting to know how it works there. And of course, you can just check the UN website for volunteering. And I hope it helps bring some light into this situation that some ESL teachers find themselves in. I hope you enjoy the interview. I hope it was interesting. I hope it was interesting enough. Hope to see you guys in next week.